I would say it's one of the yogas of participation and that which is great, that which brought you and me here in the first place and that presently looks after us, that which beats my heart and moves my breath and sex, the power of this cosmos that is arising as you and me and the trees and the flowers and the weather and the sun and the moon, the wonder of reality itself that I live in and that you live in and live as. And in the ancient world of yogic embrace of our own reality, that some cultures might call God, these various yogas were given for ordinary people to embrace that which is great, their own life. And the vibratory mechanism of the body with sound was one of those systems of yoga. So body, breath, sound, sex, the yogas of intimate relatedness to life itself. And that is mantra, to use the vocal capability of the whole body. If you think of a guitar that has strings, if you take away the wood and you just have the strings, well, what will you get? Vibration will be there, but there'll be no expression of it. So it takes the body of the guitar to make the sound. So I have these vocal cords, and there's some wind, some strength of my abdominals that bring the wind, the breeze, the breath through the vocal cords that makes this sound. By the way, Bob Dylan, Allen Ginsberg described him as he'd mastered a column of breath. And I've listened to Bob a lot with that feeling in mind, and it's a beautiful expression of what we do as communicators, as poets, as singers. It's just what we're doing right now. We have mastered the breath going through these guitar strings here, these vocal cords. But it is indeed the whole body that makes the sound, So that is mantra, to use the whole body in the vibratory current of life that this body can create. And it's a beautiful thing. But I think no more beautiful than any sound being truly expressed. We say that the mind is the communication mechanism of the heart. The mind is a function of life. The mind truly doesn't have a life of its own that's separate from its source, which is life itself, which is the heart. But that's what we do with mind. Because we can think, we imagine that the mind somehow has an existence of its own, dissociated from its source, which is life itself. Literally the heart, the first cell of life that appeared when you and I appeared, that now blooms as the whole body. So from that bloom comes the mind. And there's really no problem with mind. Mind is beautiful. It's like arms and legs are beautiful. Mind is beautiful. It's a function of life. So that's what the yogas of participation do. That's what mantra does. It links the mind to where it belongs, which is life itself. And then the mind can become useful. Then we start thinking in useful ways that is not dissociated from life itself, because the mind truly doesn't exist without life. So, I say it's like a mirage. Imagining that the mind has a life of its own that you have to worry about and think about, it's a mirage. It's not really there. You stumble towards the mirage in the desert and it's not there. It's like, what? It's very confusing. So the yogas of body, breath and mantra and intimate sexuality take care of that. So mantra is indeed a good thing. But I'd say it's not a yoga by itself. It's only a yoga in terms of all yogas. It's one of the aspects of a life of yoga. And I wouldn't even say a necessary aspect, but an aspect. Well, I would say these yogas are participation of the body, intimacy with my own embodiment, intimacy with the breath of this embodiment. And I'd say these are the key yogas. When I link my breath to the whole body, my mind automatically goes and follows the breath, right? So therefore the mind then becomes linked to the whole body, and the whole body is life itself. The whole body is this cosmos arising. The whole body is that which is great, the radiance of the cosmos unfolding, as tangible, visible form. And my movement, this what we call asana and pranayama, is the movement of the breath as the whole body, with the key aspect of the inhale merging with the exhale, which is the aspect of strength, male, receiving, feminine, strength that is utterly receptive, is the natural state, is the form of life. It is the male-female union, is the power that is the nurturing, regenerating aspect of life, and it is all life. So when I do my yoga of body and breath, it is that merge of the male-female qualities of life that form life, that nurture life, that bring life forth and care for life. So it's profound, but that's another subject, how that's been profoundly dismissed by religious culture that formed civilization. So it's created this mess, hence the need for an actual yoga practice to bring male-female into alignment with to bring the social politics of male-female and the desperate grief, pain and anger that's around that in society. We need to bring it into the intrinsic harmonies that are the male-female collaboration in Mother Nature. So that is the main yoga, that is the asana and the pranayama, It's everybody's opportunity to do that, It's not, it requires no special skill, it's egalitarian. Everybody can do it. Yoga is not a progression to a future improvement. It's a participation right now. It's just that in that main yoga, mantra can arise as a useful element. It's not like some superstitious belief system. If I say these magical formulas, then the good luck God is going to give it to me. It's, I'm saying it's only in the context of all the yogas that mantra is fruitful and beautiful. So, the main yoga is this asana, hatha yoga, and hatha yoga is the non-dual tantra of direct intimacy with reality itself. The power of this cosmos that brought me forth, brought you forth, and is presently arising as extreme intelligence. Pure intelligence, life itself. That is everybody's condition. And the utter beauty of this Mother Earth is your beauty, is my beauty. It is the situation. It is the fact of our condition. It is the natural state, with male-female in intrinsic collaboration. We're one, equal and opposites. We're one, empowers the other. Right? The inhale and the exhale love each other, utterly dependent on each other, where they meet, where the inhale meets the exhale, where strength is utterly receptive, where male meets female, right? Then comes life. There is life. There is nurtured life. That is you and me, right? if I participate in that, which is what asana is, designed in a way that's right for every person, every body type, every age, every health, every cultural background, every language, every religious point of view or non-religious point of view, doesn't matter. If the yoga is given relevantly to each person, then that is their direct embrace of the power of this cosmos that is arising as them. And anybody can do. Now in that, if I am moved to use the vibratory capability of the body to sit there and do some Christian liturgy, sing a Christian hymn, sing a Bob Dylan song, knocking on heaven's door. There's, I always say that the greatness of it, truth has existed in all times and all cultures, all geographies, because truth is the nature of life, of all humans everywhere in all time. So truth can be expressed through all time, including in popular culture as it is now. And we have some greats among us right now, the great mystic Leonard Cohen, or Bob Dylan, the list is Prince. We have some saints and sages of our own time who essentially express mantra, use their mastery of breath, this column of breath. As Allen Ginsberg said about Bob Dylan, he has mastered a column of breath. He has mastered this breath which is sound, and used the vibratory capability of the whole body, coming up from its base, as one force, and then being through the teeth and tongue and lips, taking form of vowel and consonant, here, not down there, one force coming up from below and then changing form here, which is what language is. There's something incredibly beautiful about that. Not just the human species. The birds have mantra. Crickets have their mantra. When I'm teaching yoga classes, we do some mantra, and I say, now listen to the mantra of the natural world, and suddenly we shut up, and you suddenly notice the crickets are singing, and it's like, wow. So mantra can spontaneously arise, but in all languages. And the point about yoga is that the language of the student must be respected, and it's not a matter of imposing. Right in the world today, among a certain demographic of people, egalitarian, educated, progressive people, there's a popularization of Hinduism, and we go to Hinduism, and fair enough, because it's beautiful, But then there's a confusion that somehow yoga is about Hinduism, and it's not. Yoga is not religion. It doesn't belong to any religious group. So you've got to be careful that the idea of mantra that is sourced from Hinduism or from Veda is the only mantra, because it's absolutely not. That's good for someone of Vedic tradition or Hindu tradition, or even young kids in America who love Hinduism. Fair enough, it's all right. Jai Tal and Krishna Das and all that beautiful expression. But what about if I'm in New Zealand with my Maori friends? They don't necessarily want Hindu mantra. They want mantra from their own tradition, and it is powerful to use it like that. Or if you're a Christian, Krishnamacharya, our teacher, the teacher of all the teachers, Mr. Iyengar's teacher, he was insistent that, for example, when a Muslim person came to study at the Krishnamacharya Yoga Mandiram, no Hindu mantra, only, the Islamic prayers were used in the yoga for their mantra. So that's a point to be made, that we must adapt yoga and respect the individual who comes and give mantra according to their background, their delight. and only when all the other yogas are established. There's really no such thing as mantra existing independently of all the other yogas. It's sort of a disservice to mantra itself, you know, disservice to the tradition, disservice to the individual to give only mantra. And there's a lot of history, the Mahesh Yogi, the Beatles yogi, who was the founder of TM, who, he lived in Europe and he died as, I think, a billionaire, selling mantra. And he was very clever. He was actually from a yogic culture, but he said, oh, the people of the West, they're too lazy, they won't do this, they won't do their yoga. So, but they'll sit quietly for 20 minutes on a cushion. Very lazy people in America. So we'll give them meditation with a mantra. See, and he was very clever, but I'm not sure that I think it was a disservice to individuals to give mantra. Certainly to give meditation dissociated from the yogic context in which meditation arises and always did arise. So that's what we've done. We have a habit of, we've taken meditation and we've turned meditation into a thing that exists independently of the yoga in which it arose in the great tradition. And we've done that with mantra too. So this is just a really important point to be. If anyone's interested in mantra, yes, it's a beautiful thing. But it must be given in the context of the whole spectrum of practice adapted to the individual.